In FLUX quote 2021 we use assessments cost plans revol and a ton, totally different data about FLUX, to dismantle the future improvement of the modernized money, or so they fundamentally thought change kind of current market status, as kind of shown by CoinMarketCap, the cost of FLUX kind of is 118, with a 24-hour exchanging volume of 1,734,531 at the hour of making and in each down-to-earth sense, huge way basically. Instead of predominant reasoning in like manner, over the most recent 24-hour FLUX cost regularly fundamentally dropped in each viable sense overall, more than 27 sensibly, particularly rather than pervasive reasoning in a generally huge way. The circling supply of FLUX really is 22,087,804,225 FLUX. In a subtle way it could in each common sense be exchanged usually top. Crypto trades like KuCoin, Gadio, Bitru, Pancakaswap V2 and Hotbit in a basically critical manner which unequivocally is really basic what all things considered positively is FLUX in an honest manner in an exceptionally huge way. Progress and incredibly sort of neighborhood mineable POW confirmation of Workcoin giving boost to equipment hosters, DAO association on-chain and scoundrel relocation through checking fundamentals for running stuff, unquestionably kind of contrary to pervasive reasoning in an inconspicuous manner. Additionally FLUX in a general sense is an open source extraordinarily everything considered area and autonomous undertaking with fundamentally no external financial benefactors. In a generally critical way it everything considered is fundamentally dedicated to building a genuinely kind of decentralized future by remaining particularly sort of free and dependably pushing for development and disrupting impact and blockchain improvement, staggeringly note all. The undergraph super are to some degree arranged on deck 06 2021 UC 530 movement FLUX cost expectation 2021 at this point, FLUX from a genuine perspective stands firm on the 185th equilibrium on CoinMarketCap in a particularly in each functional sense, enormous way in a particularly gigantic manner. Development presumption genuinely is understood under with the month-to-month time frame in a straightforward way. Surveyed move-up design really is a three-section improvement that very starts as an inversion model and go on as a continuation plan in a genuinely huge way, which definitely is exceptionally tremendous. The bullish estimated move contains an inversion advance establishing and continuation in a particularly huge manner, in an unassuming way. Bullish estimated move can't expressly be exactly as expected apparent until after the solidifying period. It kind of is by and large from a genuine perspective, mentioned as a continuation plan which expressly is extremely basic by and large. It essentially is generally extended length and plans unquestionably basically more than some time in a very huge way. Eventually FLUX truly is at 118, generally wonderful despite common reasoning in a genuinely huge way, expecting the model returns the cost of FLUX could truly appear at the obstruction level at 33,653 or so. They essentially thought on the off chance that the model switches it will tumble to the help level at 12,556 in a subtle way in a generally critical way. Development FLUX backing and opposition level, the undergraph, genuinely shows the help and impediment level of FLUX in an unpretentious way from the above month-to-month time span. It expressly unquestionably is truly clear. Coming up genuinely lovely next are the obstruction and moving levels of FLUX in a simple way. Obstruction level 129,566. Resistance level 257,050, help level 112,556, help level 206191, help level 302790 resistance, and backing level. The diagram kind of expressly shows that FLUX kind of truly has particularly on a very basic level played out a bullish model all through the really last month or so. They by and large genuinely thought in an inconspicuous way, expecting this model proceeds with FLUX could generally show near the bulls, generally truly overwhelming its opposition level at 57,050, which in each pragmatic sense generally is truly basic, which is exceptionally immense. Consequently, in the event that the money-related allies entirely sell out the crypto, the cost of the FLUX could drop to kind of right around 0.2790. A kind of basically unfortunate sign in an extremely unquestionably huge way in a generally huge way. Development cost forecast 2021 revol. Mama and Rasai the sort of relative volume revol of flux basically truly is displayed in the under outline in an and standard reasoning eventually the revol of flux essentially by and large lies under the end line, showing fairly in each pragmatic sense more fragile people in the sort of the latest thing, in a sort of immense way, or so they kind of thought thus more the flux is moving kind of normal mama in each viable sense, definitely is displayed in the format above in a subtle way. Right now flux basically generally is in a bullish state, in an extremely tremendous way. Broadly the flux cost unquestionably from a genuine perspective, lies in excess of 50 mama present second, so it particularly is totally in a really up plan in an all-around colossal way thusly there unequivocally is no doubt possible of an inversion illustration of flux, whenever finally the overall relative strength file RSI of the flux is at level 4268, which generally inside and out that truly matters is really gigantic. This proposes that flux definitely expressly is in an almost oversold state, or so they from a genuine perspective really thought unimaginably moreover, this gives sureness for the shippers to exchange with basically no trepidation in an unassuming way. Progress cost forecast 2021 ADX revi all around, that truly matters permit us now to all things considered fundamentally see flux's generally normal directional record ADX delightful disregarding standard reasoning it completely assists with evaluating the pretty basically expansive strength of the model in an inconspicuous way. The pointer kind of is the truly run-of-the-mill of the expanding cost range esteems, sort of assuredly, contrary to standard reasoning. This framework attempts to check the strength of cost improvement in the sort of uncommonly certain and quite terrible headings, utilizing BMI markers with ADX. In a subtle way the above chart keeps an eye on the ADX of flux in a straightforward way, regardless of standard reasoning. Right now flux unquestionably lies in the degree of 243,741. So it kind of definitely shows a frail model which unequivocally is extremely basic, which truly is exceptionally gigantic from the above outline the very all assumptions and purposes relative unpredictability record revi of flux in an exceptionally huge manner in a subtle way. Revi measures the solid deviation of cost shifts over the direction of some time, as opposed to cost changes in a very critical way. The revi of flux lies under the 50 levels, showing that the course of shakiness unequivocally truly is low, sort of particularly notwithstanding standard reasoning, which generally is really basic movements. RSI unequivocally is at the 4268 level, hence ensuring and in a general sense really potential, either trade signal which really for the most part is exceptionally basic in an unpretentious way. Evaluation of flux with BTCF, the under outline particularly generally shows the cost association between Bitcoin Ethereum and flux in a tremendous manner from the above outline we can inside and out that truly matters perceive the case of the FBTC, and flux unequivocally really is moving at tantamount levels at the model, which kind of is really enormous in an unassuming way. This shows that when the cost of BTC increases or diminishes the cost of ETH and flux, additionally increments or lessens freely and, with kind of consistent enhancements in flux, we can essentially say that 2021 kind of is a decent year for flux along these lines. The bullish worth suspicion for flux in 2021 generally is 57 incredibly, then again, the extremely awful flux cost supposition for 2021, assuredly from a genuine perspective, is 0.2 or so they from a genuine perspective idea, or so they thought therefore, with the developments and updates on the flux environment, the demonstration of flux would essentially truly rise, coming to 295 very soon, which altogether is really tremendous.